Hi, and thank you for joining me. Bit of a change today, something that I've been wanting to do for ages. Can I introduce you to John?
Hi.
John Edwards, who is, I'm lucky to have as a neighbour. His wife and daughters, I feel that they're part of, well, they're my family. So I've always wanted to come here and see what he gets up to when he disappears in his van. So what's this?
This is just a saw for sawing pieces of steel. Just works on a band that goes round.
Okay.
Water comes through to cool the blade.
So is that metal now hot?
No, the water keeps it cool.
The water keeps the blade and that cool
and
as
that
well.
cool.
Brilliant.
It would get a bit warmer if the water starts to run out, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's.
I was just saying to John before I started filming that my granddad was in heavy engineering. So I think that's why this sort of thing fascinates me. I always love to know how things are made. And he's been showing me, can you show me this, John, that you were explaining that you've just been working on?
It's the bed plate to a trailer for a lorry.
So this is
That's the forklift truck.
that's just an ordinary forklift truck, right?
And this here is the bed. So if you imagine that's the front part, so when they load the trailer up, and underneath there a pin sticks through, and that's what attaches the tractor unit to the trailer.
Right.
The drill's along here, and then it's bolted up to the underneath of the trailer.
Right.
And they do tend to rot a bit because they have the big, if you can imagine a trailer, the big drums on the top of them, sometimes you can't see.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they eventually start to crack around the kingpin, and then they need replacing.
So that orange, is that what we used to call red lead paint? Is that
Yeah.
a modern equivalent of that?
Yeah, I mean, we still call it red lead, but it's actually a zinc phosphate primer now, but everyone calls it red
Everyone
lead.
calls it. Oh, well, I'm with it for
You
once.
are, you're on it.
It doesn't happen very often.
So yeah, that's the bed plate.
So this sort of thing is your bread and butter?
Yeah, things like this and ramps for shrink wrapping machines and stuff like that. I make a lot of jigs and fixtures for painting things on for the likes of Bentley and Mitras.
Right. And
Over here is the...
because I asked the silly question when I came in, do you prefer doing something like this to the twiddly bits?
Yeah. It's very difficult making money for the general public now, and even if you made a set of gates for them, by the time you get to someone's, you've got a tiny scratch on it, and it means the world to them, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Whereas once this has been smacked into 4 or 5 times when they're loading the trailer up, then nobody cares what the paintwork's got a scratch on it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just heavier engineering, really.
So did you take this over from your father?
No.
You were the first one?
No, there was. I took it over from the guy that I was apprenticed to, a guy called Dave Twelves.
Right.
And then before him, it was owned by a bloke called Norman Nevitt. And a lot of people might know the Nevitt's name from around this area. And that's when I finished my time. Dave was getting close to retirement, and I bought him out in 2000. But we weren't here then. We were in the little smithy down Hindheath Road, on the side of the road then.
I mean, what's this big thing here?
You call that a radial arm drill.
Right.
Very few places have them nowadays because of laser cutting and such like. But basically it'll go up and down the mast.
Yeah.
That head unit will go along that radial arm. And then the drill comes down there. At the moment it's got a small chuck in it.
Yeah.
But you can if you want to put fairly decent sized drill
Oh
bits
my
in.
giddy aunt, that's a whopper,
If
isn't
you
it?
want to drill quite a big hole, then you just have to take that out, push that in, and then you're off and it all clamps up electronically so it stays and doesn't shake about, just eats its way through.
I had a friend who, bless her, she was very attractive, so everybody always flocked to help her, and she was hopeless with anything. And unfortunately, her husband was killed in an airplane crash. So everybody was helping, but she said, no, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to drill and put this mug rack onto the tiles. I said, well, drilling into tiles, you need to tape them so the drill doesn't... Right, okay, I can do that, I can do that. I said, well, I'm not going anywhere. Half an hour later, the drill won't work. And I went round, and she'd got the drill out, and just the bit, and she hadn't put, just the chuck, she hadn't put a bit in it. So I explained to her that, you know, it might work more effectively if she set it up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the guillotine that...
No,
that's the guillotine.
That's
the other one's a saw.
Yeah.
So this is the one that...
Cut steel.
Yeah, and cut you as well.
Yeah, it's pretty safe because there's a trap there and a finger guard there to stop you. But you want to a piece of steel.
Yeah. Yes, so it wouldn't have much difficulty going through a finger.
No.
No.
Well, my worst thing is not the fingers, it's my rulers. I keep forgetting to take the rulers out.
Oh dear. Oh, that's fabulous. What else?
This is you don't use it very much, it's called steel worker. You'll punch a hole.
Right.
And round the other side it'll cut out notches in things.
Right.
So
how old do you reckon this piece of kit is?
Probably 1950, something like that.
Right.
Same with the big radial arm.
Yeah. I wouldn't like to try and move that.
No, it was a job. I think it was about 7 ton with the bed.
Oh goodness me.
So yeah, then obviously we moved onto the welding machines. This is the big one. This is about 40-year-old and originally came from Foden's.
Right.
Water cooled. So that tank there acts like a radiator.
Yeah.
Pumps water through the torch to keep the torch cool.
Mhm.
So when I'm doing quite big welding, then I use that one. Anything smaller, I just use that. Even say small, that's still about 320 amps, but...
I have done some spot welding.
Have you done spot welding?
Mm?
Yeah.
Once. And that was it.
The machine comes down like that.
Yes. But I have to have a look at the anvil.
The anvil?
What you could do in your spare time is set up and, you know, like Gretna, they get married over an anvil, don't they?
Yeah.
You could always remove the glove and do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got a spare carnation in your gorgeous garden.
Quickly put a carnation on and it could be a minister for the afternoon.
Absolutely, yeah. Keep the overalls on. It would certainly add a je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. To the whole occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old anvil.
Brilliant.
Over in that corner there's a lathe.
Yeah.
Turning bits and bobs, and another one over there. Everything around it's a bit scruffy, as you can see. I tend to clear an area as I use it.
So, with a job, will you be moving from one piece of kit to another, usually?
Yeah, depending on what the job requires.
Yeah. So you must have decent muscles.
Used to have when I was in my 20s. They're all a bit shot at now.
Oh. Well, I'm just imagining my granddad now. I've got a photograph of him in his overalls. I'll be rooting that out when I get home.
Yeah. Another smaller drill over that corner there. That's nowadays with modern drills, they have to have like either a chuck guard on here,
Yeah.
or they have to have these, which they call them Insta brakes. But basically, if something gets jammed in that, and it's that you hit the aerial, it just locks it.
Right.
It injects DC current the other way to lock the motor off. So
Right.
when you reset it, it's like something you can imagine, something's got jammed in the chuck, and then soon as it hits that. So if you get
But what
hit
if your
there,
hand goes there? That would.
that would hit that, and then you'd
That would hit
hopefully, rather than going round and round and round.
Oh. Oh, and you're right near the railway line.
And yeah, very close, yeah. Had a couple of steam trains go past him over the years.
Oh, brilliant. My granddad, who used to do the engineering, used to take me to watch them. John, that's smashing. Thank you ever so much. My pieces are all short and sweet and interesting, so that really is. And I appreciate the time,
No problem.
especially as I just appeared. Thank you, and
Okay.
thank you ever so much to everyone for listening. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.